Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping's Song of Fire and Ice role-playing game, where we follow the Chronicles of House Weirlight. Hello, House Weirlight.
Hello.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Aaron, have fun with that later.
I could tell I wasn't allowed to say it this time.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So it's been a week. Is everyone doing okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
My imaginary wine, because I may have to be drive.
It's fine.
It's fine. Serena and I will drink for you. It'll be fine.
Awesome.
I'm already feeling
The only thing I have is watermelon vodka, and I'm not about to drink that straight.
Fair.
I think that's a wise choice.
All right.
Not doing it.
So,
Sec down over there.
we left off on kind of several cliffhangers.
Yeah. As you do so well.
Mm-hmm. They're the best. There had been, after everyone sort of got to know each other at the wedding, at Helmcrest, for the wedding of between the Harts and the Mannings, young Eileen Hart, seen just moments before talking to Mariella Weirlight, was found dead, believed to have fallen to her death from a high tower.
You killed her, Tony. God damn it.
No. You flirted with her. There's a history for Henrik now. It's your fault.
Oh, sure.
You know, if nobody had even paid attention to her, she may not have died.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know, Mariella, you were the one asking questions about her sister and everything, so...
Regardless, we should have known. Our colors are red and purple.
Yeah, we should have. That was an oversight on our bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so yes, young Eileen did perish. It is unfortunate. But many questions are, what happened? Was it an accident? What was she doing up there? You know?
It's Jamie fucking Lannister.
Yeah, Jamie Lannister came back. He has just a history of offing young people. Oh, well.
Pushing them off of high towers. It's true.
Every time someone is standing at the edge of a high tower, Jamie Lannister gets like a spidey sense thing.
Yeah. Just starts sprinting towards it.
Yeah. Just sprinting at top speed. So that's cliffhanger number one.
Fine.
Number two, after back at home, Thorsten and Clarissa had finally recovered the notebook hidden away in the vaults within the Citadel, and they had found strange detailings and rituals of ancient blood magic. None of the notes state where these rituals came from, what culture they're attached to, as they were written in the hand of a maester, sort of as if identifying them through a sort of detached means.
Like a textbook.
Yeah, kind of. But there was no detail of whose rituals these were, what their purpose or real reason they were even written down or ripped out. Clarissa had mysteriously been waiting on her cousin, bringing something known as the book. He did return, fine, but unfortunately, the book appears to have been stolen or gone by someone apparently who has been besetting the Akeland, which is the home of and seat of House Asterwood. We'll find out more about that, and then of course, the combat crew, as they've been decided to have been called. Tidrick, Henrik, and Nymora had, of course, gone out to the wedding hunt. Unbeknownst of all of this horrible tragedy.
No, everything's going great for us.
Oh, yeah, we're doing great.
They talked a bit to the young Darren Manning on
Darren.
how to woo the fairer sex.
Going about as well as you could expect it to.
Yep. Where one of the other mates they have met, man by the name of Orton Lugas, had a quick discussion of brashness and morality with Tidrick and Nymora. And last we saw them, we saw a fleeing male deer, antlers covered in blood, a gored wildcat screaming its last horrid breaths in a clearing, and seemingly maybe drawn by the noise, a larger than average tusked boar, the famous boar that dwelt the King's Wood. So, where we pick up this story is with the combat crew. Roll initiative.
Oh,
All right.
Shit.
That was quick.
Oh shit! Holy
Oh,
shit!
it's
Ah,
already starting.
no, no,
Down,
no.
Mueller.
You were warned.
Sorry, hang on.
How do I roll
Which one
initiative
is
again?
I rolled
It
funny
is
before.
it's an agility test.
Agility.
If you have quickness, it
I do.
Aaron, I'm sorry, I have to refresh real quick.
agility?
Sorry, guys.
Is it
Huh?
refresh
Sorry.
or do you need a
Keep it-
reconnect?
That's a lot of ones.
Well, find
Looks
out.
like Namora had a little too much wine.
No. Oh no.
This isn't your garden variety boar.
This is
It's
an
a boar with
advanced
agility.
boar.
I was
There
doing
it is.
guilty
If you gotta
15.
refresh.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
It's not working.
Excuse our cameras for a hot minute.
This isn't a normal boar. This is an advanced boar.
Indeed.
It's the advanced course ball.
He has 4 in agility? Wait, no.
No.
I'm sorry, no, 3, but God.
Still, this boar, man.
Look at how
It
many
is two
ones I
quickness.
rolled.
He has 2 in
Alright,
quickness.
you're all good.
I have 5
Alright,
quick.
good. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
What
a
were we-
boar.
oh, yeah.
Agility,
Agility
quickness.
sport.
Let's see where you are.
Agility
Line up.
Boar. Let's
Quickness.
Go. Okay,
Quick-
I'm going.
Quickness if you have it.
Quickness, very quickly.
Come on, Henrik. Ugh.
Oh, I'm so close. Oh, damn it.
Well, there are others in the party.
Fingers
Yes,
crossed.
there are others in our party.
Yes, there is, but at the moment, this is what's happening. The boar sees all of you and just lets out this deep, bellowing squeal. Sounds like an oxymoron, but it's there. And just
There we go.
takes a full charge maneuver. And
Oh, Jesus.
and is going to, let's see, in the front. Yep, it's going to try to gore your horse, Nymora.
Oh,
Oh,
No.
the
I
horse.
thought I was going to come after my
Not the
horse.
horse.
Okay.
No, Nymora's in the front. She was tracking.
So if the seeds would be a
Mhm.
horse.
Now, would these be our personal horses?
We brought our personal horse. I was gonna
I
have
assumed.
Yeah. All right, just
Otherwise,
wanted to
you're,
know.
God.
otherwise
Yeah,
you're
all
hunting
right.
on foot because they didn't provide horses.
Yeah. Sure.
So yes, these are your personal horses.
Yeah, my nice horse.
Oh god,
Mhm.
imminent horse death.
Horse.
Already seen one this this campaign. Can't see another one yet. Not so soon.
One horse death.
No, we haven't had a horse death. We just had like
No, we
horse on
have
the brink
horses-
of death.
No,
No, we full on had a
No,
horse.
there was absolutely
was-
a horse death.
Clary,
Oh
Clary's horse
yeah.
died,
Yeah,
remember? Got
correct.
shot.
Correct.
Yep, many horses. Many horse death. Sorry, I'm just bringing up that stat right there.
Some
Many
big stats.
horses.
No,
many
I
horses.
I got the pig stat. It's the sand steed. There you are. Ooh, look at you, you fast girl, you.
Mhm.
All right. So the boar is
Mhm.
going to attempt to gore the sand steed. What is your sand steed's name again?
Dune.
Dune, of course. Well, let's see what happens.
It might
Oh,
be
yeah.
Doom.
No.
11. That does hit
Mhm.
its combat defense. However, just barely. Just ever so barely. All right. So, which means it will deal. Let's see here. 5 damage to your horse. However, your horse have a natural armor of 2. So it is only dealt 3 damage. I will tell you, Nymora, your horse has 12 health. So that's
Yay.
not
Same as
that
It's
bad.
it's like a clipping glance to like
Yeah.
its flank or something like that.
Yeah, essentially. It's not that bad.
so apparently I'm as healthy as a horse.
You are.
Aha!
You are.
Should I
indeed as healthy
be
as
should
a
I
horse.
be tracking Dune's health? Or
No, you don't have to. No.
Okay.
I can do it. I have a thing. But
Okay.
if you want to keep me honest or in check, you are free to.
okay.
I shall never stop you from doing it. Yeah. Dune does like rear up
Mhm.
and definitely get wide-eyed and like shaky, but as the sand steed, it is not necessarily in direct danger of bolting at the moment.
Yeah.
However, it might try and become more agile without you.
hmm
So we'll get that on your turn. All right. So that is the boar's maneuver. It has charged wholeheartedly into combat. I believe the next up is Henrik.
Yes.
All right. This boar has just attacked Nymora's horse.
Hey. Yeah, I'm not gonna have that. It's a boar fight. I believe you usually fight with spears in a boar fight,
Spears,
correct?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. And I have a lesser action and a greater action.
You
Right?
do.
Okay,
You do,
cool,
you
cool.
do.
I would like to take my lesser action to aim.
Okay.
If I could do that, and
Mhm.
then I'd like the other action to attack.
All right.
So with
So you're going to. Okay, I get you.
so I get one to next fighting or marksmanship. so
Yeah,
yes.
one bonus dice. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Do.
All right.
Crossed. Here we
See
go.
what's up. Oh, yes, you hit.
Nice.
And I believe you hit with 2 degrees of success.
Nice, nice.
Finally, those spear lessons with Nymora are paying off. Finally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So, what is the damage of your spear?
Damage to my spear is
It's
my athletics, which is 4.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
your
it would just be your athletics. So
athletics.
4. Yeah. So that means you've dealt 8 damage to this boar. It does have some armor, so it
Yeah,
does. It does take some of that, but you bury your spear fairly deep into this boar's hide.
Nice.
Yeah, excellently done. Phenomenal. And then you pull it out just as swiftly. However, at the end of your turn, I'm going to need you to make an animal handling test. Now you have a destrier, do you not?
Yes. So.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
So a destrier. So this is actually going to be a fairly. Yeah, you will need to control a destrier. You need a. Looking at modifiers. So right now, just a 3.
Okay. I don't think there's a way I can fail this. No,
Well, if
I
you
have
roll
literally
all-
3 in animal
Right, but
handling.
if you roll all ones, it is technically.
I guess,
what
yeah.
happens. 8. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. You keep hold of your horse name?
Onyx.
Onyx. You keep a hold of Onyx. And still manage to have him keep into the fight. Fantastique. All right. Cedric.
All right. Let us take care of this boar.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Now you were given a bow and arrow from a thing, but that's like the only thing you were really given. What are you trying to use to attack the boar? You of course have your own personal arms.
Yeah. I did not bring Reaper with me.
I assumed. Because I will say, while a sword is probably going to help kill this beast, it can be good for the hunting part of this beast.
Yes.
All right. So what do you want to do? You use your long sword,
I'm
bastard
going
sword, excuse me.
Come up, with my bastard sword.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out which one. Hey. Yeah, I'll just do, let's see, so, basic attack is lesser, right?
Yes.
So I could do 2 of them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's do
All
that.
right. Make them swipes.
Push them buttons.
Make them swipes.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh.
I didn't even see him.
Hi.
Oh!
Ooh,
Yeah,
would
yeah.
go.
Well, both of those crit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh!
One sec.
Oh! I am disgusting!
Wait,
You are.
we each have selective skills.
Yeah!
Follow us down the
Very
road to figure out who has what.
Mhm.
I think the
All
second hit's gonna be worse than the first.
right. So the first one. Let's see here. That is 1, 2.
An awful number.
Yeah, basically. 1, 2, 3. 4 degrees of success.
Just terrible.
So that's what's your damage in your bastard sword?
5.
5. Okay. And you have 2 6s. So this is a powerful hit. Your attack leaves your opponent reeling. Increase the base damage of your weapon for this attack by 4.
Hate this.
9.
Damn.
So that's 9 times 4,
36.
which is 36. Yes.
Damn.
Now, of course, armor. Yeah. So, Tedric, you walk up with your sword, bring it high, bring it down, and you cleave this pig's head in half. So
Again.
it just opens.
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
As
the gray
gore
matter.
spills out of it.
And then I spin around with my second strike and lop it off.
Sure, you do so. You then lop the head off in 2 halves.
Nice.
All right, yeah, fantastic.
Swing my sword to get rid of the gore and blood on it.
Yep.
Thought this was gonna go at least 2 rounds.
And by the way, it doesn't come fully off because
Yeah, I know.
this is
Gotta-
not a katana.
And, like,
Yeah,
like-
well, I will wipe
It's
it
just-
upon.
Yeah,
It's also not an anime.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't
Yeah.
all come off. Some blood definitely flicks, but you're gonna have to get in there.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Naimora, you're getting out your spear, and you're like, well.
And it's dead.
I accompanied by both Henrik and Tedric, I don't think she was even like,
Mm-hmm.
she was more concerned with the horse.
Yeah. However, the fact that Tedric has killed this boar in this way, bringing it back for a feast might not be optional. What with its entire body, like it just basically open.
Ooh. I thought only the head was. Oh, that's not great. Yeah. Well, how's the cat doing? How's the panther?
It's
Is
still
that an
screaming.
option? Oh, okay. We should probably kill that. Real quick.
Yeah. Naimora jumps down off of
Yeah.
Dune after trying to calm him down a bit, grabs her spear, and just goes over to the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like it was the stag that killed it?
From the if you get kind of close to it, there is blood all over its chest
Mhm.
and neck, essentially. It's kind of flailing, so you probably have to kill it to check properly.
Sorry, friend. And I'm just gonna bring
Yeah.
the spear down into its throat.
Yeah, you bring the spear down into its throat, and it just looks you right when you do that. It kind of looks you directly in the eye, and you see it die. And yeah, you pull it out. You're good.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Majestic creature.
Yeah. If you want to check it, you can make a
Oh, I'm not Thorsten.
Oh, totally.
What's that? Is that just healing?
It's a healing test. Yeah. Diagnosis.
It's a lot of blood.
She's better at killing than
Well,
she is.
so interestingly enough, actually, you're pretty sure it was probably a stag.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the bloody like if you hadn't seen the stag, you would be like, "What killed this?"
Mhm.
Besides me.
But yeah, you're pretty sure it was the big old male deer.
Poor thing. Do you want to go after that deer? It's not quite a boar, but this is going to get all kinds of dirty if we try to bring it back.
Yeah, if you guys want to try and preserve this so it'll make the trip back, you can. Yep. It's
Cat
a
or the boar.
well, the boar. People generally don't eat wildcat. But yeah, the boar. You can try and do the boar. It's a survival test.
Okay, which one of us has the best survival? I'm almost positive it's not me.
I think it's me.
I think it's-
I have
It would be 9.
Three.
Since I'm more, yeah.
yeah,
Can
I
we, can we
try.
like help her out in any way or anything like that?
Do you know anything about how to tress an animal? Corpse?
No, I don't know if I could like give it a help action. I don't think I can do that. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Darren does know how to do that.
Oh, cool.
No.
So
stepping up.
Darren can help you. So
Yeah.
we're going to say he gives you basically a plus. I'm just going to do the base here. So you get a +3 on your roll.
Okay. All right. Help me get it up into a 3. We're gonna drain the blood out.
Well, so with an 18, yes, that is, gosh, yeah, that's like nearly 3 degrees of success.
Break open the sternum, take all the intestines out, drain the blood out.
Yeah, you basically have to do this now instead of,
Mhm.
and then you just have to wrap this up and hope it doesn't go bad.
It's going to take it a while to go bad.
I
Yeah.
cook it right away. Yeah. So
Yeah,
hopefully.
but yeah, you're just a couple hours out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so well, you've got a boar.
Nice.
If you're willing to, yeah, kind of you hitch up like a little drag for it, and you can head back and see if you won the contest.
Should we head back? Maybe we'll find something else on our way back to the castle.
We should head back in the same direction that deer was going.
Yeah.
See if we can track
Yep.
it down.
Yeah. Also, you've probably preserved
Yeah.
a lot of its organs because these are medieval people. They love the organs of all animals, even though they
Oh.
probably shouldn't.
Oh,
eat
yeah,
most of
they eat
them.
everything.
Give me that sweet liver. That sweet
Oh yeah,
hog
that boar liver. Oh,
The
yeah.
kidney.
They're so good. Yeah. So gross.
Mhm.
Some
We
booty.
should, we're
with
not
that
gonna
kidney.
take the cat, are we? We can just leave it here.
You could probably just leave it there.
Okay, cool.
If you want, no one's gonna stop you.
What?
No, we're good. Just making sure we didn't need it.
All right.
Collect cat pelts.
Mhm.
Oh, we just killed her.
I vaguely considered it, but no, she didn't kill it, so it's not
I
like.
thought about it for a second. Like, if it had attacked us, be like,
It's not
hey,
as cool as
you know,
the
we'll
shadow
follow
guy,
up
yeah.
this thing. It's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
There's
All
no,
right.
there's no honor in doing it right now.
Yeah. All right. So you begin to head back. Walton congratulates you on that thrust, Henrik. He's like,
We're really proud about that.
Yeah. Kind of
Working on
nod.
that. Yep.
I think he goes, yeah, I can't wait to see a thrust like that at tourney.
One
You'll be at
day.
the next tourney, right?
Of course. When is like Lynn? So when's the next party and everything?
With Robert, I mean the listings are changing constantly. The next one I'm aware of, I think, is in the Riverlands.
Okay.
I think House, was it Oaklester, possibly, is hosting it. I'd have to check the lists again. But, with Robert, the king, a new tournament might pop up any day.
Oh, yes. I know it's a shame. I live so far away. Can't get to these as much as I'd like.
And as you guys walk back, and he kind of looks at you. You don't take your squire and go. Sorry, he goes. You don't take your squire and go to the lists.
You talking to me or to?
You talking to him?
Yeah. You cut out for some of that. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, he's like, you don't take your squire and go to the list.
Kind of looks down a little bit, like a little embarrassed. Like I'm not an anointed knight like you. Well, I'm just.
I know you're not an anointed knight, Henrik.
I'm just good with a sword. That's it. Yeah.
He goes, right, but you are the heir to a powerful house, are you not?
I am. Yeah.
And he just looks a little confused, like.
Tiedrick is just listening to this.
Oh, see there? Whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of just walk with you, but yeah, it'd be hard for him not to.
Yeah, it's fine.
He goes, well, yes, I mean, I live quite far from many tournaments, but I go. Do not, have you not, I haven't really seen you at many.
Oh, I've wanted to go to more, especially after, rebellion. I think I want to prove myself more and sort of make a name for myself. And I guess I just kind of thinks back, and I was like, and he's like, kind of gets quiet. It's like, why haven't I done this and everything? Like, why haven't I left home for a little bit? Like, and so like, I think
there's a reason.
I think you're right. I know. Like, there's currently a lot of stuff going on at home, but I think. I think you're right. I think I do. I think I should these things one day.
You should. I hope to see you at the next one.
Who?
Like, I think you'll trust me. You'll get a very, very good look of me and my horse from the dirt, and he kind of like punches your arm.
Dead arm. Ow! Damn it! Yeah. We'll see.
I hope too. Well, while the combat crew is just having a grand old time, we are going to switch actually very quickly and far over back to Theolden Hall. So, Carissa and Thorsten, you're in the kind of grand office the kind of laboratory office of Thorsten, all with the notes and things everywhere. All of you, it's night. One of the maids have like left more candles because you've instructed no one to come in. And you guys have been poring over notes and finding every books that you can possibly reference. And yeah, what are you guys doing? You know, the Book of Asterwood, the kind of writings of the old Asterwoods who knew kind of the ancient history of the Weirlight family and this region in general. And the wisdom that came with dealing with it currently is not in your grasps. And you've been trying to find and supplement anything in retrospect, but not much good has come of it. Many leads, but unfortunately you just don't have the materials on hand to pursue them.
Yes. Now, my thought actually is, what level of this would it be something that would be elevated to asking the Citadel for help? Like, would I know what, like, DEF CON it has to be on to go to the Citadel?
So here's the thing: you can try if the help you want to get is just books, you can kind of get that from the Citadel whenever you want. You have to, if you want to take the books out of the Citadel, that is a very other question. You don't think you would be able to. You're just
I
not
don't have the clout.
You don't have the clout or tenure some other maesters have.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Grand Maester Pycelle wanted a book, they would go, "Yes, sir. Of course, sir. This right here, sir." But
Yes.
you some Reachman's, maester. While the Weirlight family is prestigious enough for them to tour their own vaults within the Citadel, removing texts pretty difficult. Having them copied for you can be done.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, you can definitely bring blank vellums and have books copied. That will take
Time.
a certain amount of time, as there is just one old man going like, "I've got to make that first letter real good."
Real fancy.
You could even say
Make the tea
storybook good.
nice.
Yeah. Just like, "Oh yeah, look at that ass."
Look at that.
Gotta
Oh,
put
for
flowers
once
and
upon a
shit on.
time.
Oh, such nice calligraphy.
What about asking the Citadel, like, look, something's happening. I actually need help versus books. Like, what is that level?
Like, you want other maesters to aid in.
Mhm.
So that's not a thing you can really request. It's not like they're not like an agency, really.
Mhm.
You can beseech maesters and if they have the time and are willing, they can come help you.
Okay.
But it's completely up to them, right? Like, you
Okay.
have no authority or right or chain or code in the maesters that
Okay.
you have to help another maester.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to.
No, yeah,
that all-
absolutely. Always clarify. Also,
Yeah.
what would you say?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what the option was if I decided to go that route.
Absolutely.
Because I have no idea what to say at this point. Because I am just as flabbergasted as they will be.
Mhm.
Let's see. Clarissa, would any of this stuff be in the Book of Asterwood?
Probably all of it.
And I'm assuming Cedric is the only other person allowed to come in and out because of.
Yeah.
And
Cedric's there.
okay. And who again took the book?
A complicated question.
Well, I don't know the name of the man who took it, but I know who he worked for.
Yes.
And who would that be? Flint.
Yes, Flint. Yep.
I doubt I know this person.
No. It's about Flint Calfer is his name. He's a. But then he looks at Clarissa. Yeah, and he'll just
People are
Piece of what?
people are getting restless outside of these walls. They know obviously that something is going on. I had to cut a man's finger. Well, I did. Nero had to cut off a man's finger for stealing garlic because he believes that it's going to block off some sort of omen.
Mhm.
which is ridiculous.
Yes. But
Would he
something
be?
has to be done.
Would he be willing to return the book for a fee?
Probably
A large one.
a large one.
Or he might just think it's all fairy tales. We don't really know.
I
How
don't even know
much?
if the man's literate.
How much do
Actually,
you think he would?
Make a good point.
How much? Oh, we're getting into dangerous territory.
Mhm. Is there a way you can convince him that he grabbed the wrong book? make him come back.
It's unlikely that he came with the intention of stealing the book. It's far
Okay.
more likely he came, stole whatever he could get his hands on, and left to get ready for the next time they were going to siege the hall.
Like, he kind of looks at Clarissa when you say that, like, can we talk about it now? Or... You know, your father, Uncle, is very clear about that, but you're the steward.
My father doesn't know, obviously, what is best for the house, as we can clearly see now that we're in this predicament. So, maybe it's time to talk about it behind his back.
I am very okay with talking about it. I've been...
All right. Yes. Fine. We'll talk about it. Jesus, I'm going to get in so much trouble.
Who's this
Okay.
Jesus?
It's Jesus.
Very good question. Whoa.
That was actually me, Bailey.
I know. I know.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. The afterwards. My father is a fool, and we have gotten ourselves into a bit of trouble recently.
I mean, he's very stubborn, yes.
Yeah. Well, the fact that the book is gone and he didn't tell anyone, I feel like that can be categorized as foolish behavior.
Agreed.
We've been sieged by bandits for a long time now. And my father refuses to do anything about it. He won't ask for help. He won't let us talk about it. It's a very bad situation.
Well, I will say, we've fought them several occasions, but just don't have the resources to fully repel them. The thing is, these are not, dirty men in the woods who wish to not be farmers and decided to take. These are actually
Swords.
no, veterans from the War of the Rebellion. They're all deserters from several armies that have sort of banded together and made a bandit army, I suppose. There's hundreds of them. And they're well armed. And Flint, their leader, he wasn't a knight or anything, but he used to be a soldier in the Lannister army. And he got a lot of men rich in the sacking of King's Landing. I've seen the man. The man is abhorrent, but he knows how to command men, and, well, Akeland has been besieged by them for a very time. And he refused to tell the Weirlights because he's afraid of what they'll do.
What the Weirlights will do to him or to the bandit?
To their lands.
To their reputation.
Yeah. Nods. And he's been trying to fight them, but and we have been sworn to secrecy. It's not exactly my business. That's why I always went off of my cousin's say on that. Yes, Flint can be negotiated with. Get something, he will get as much as it as he can. There's no way to negotiate off the land. He thinks they're too drunk on power. We've defeated them several times in combat, but they just recoup their losses quite easily. And our men are becoming
strained.
Yes, and bitter. And we've already had a few desertions of our own.
So is this something that we should bring to Tedric's attention?
I'm just a man who swings swords and teaches other people.
Yes.
That's out of my wheelhouse.
I mean, not now, obviously. Nothing he can do to help while he's away at a wedding, but perhaps soon. The book. We need the book.
I concur. I'd like to just, as we're talking with all this, I'd like to just keep continuing going through every single freaking book that
Yeah, absolutely.
office.
I will remind you, you do have some of those Weirlight samples as well.
We do.
If you want
Actually,
to experiment with them.
I would. I'd like to completely dissect the stem of one of them, going up just to examine the inside.
Poor
That'd
acid
be a
on him.
medicine because I'm dissecting.
Yeah, let's call. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Yeah, let's call this healing
Or research, or
I'm gonna say this is probably healing.
okay.
Do you have? Hold on.
Sorry.
What are your? Do you have any specialties?
I just have treat injury.
Okay, well that's not gonna help here. I didn't know if you had diagnosis. But yeah, okay. So 21. Yeah. So that is, I think, 2 degrees of success. Yeah. So yeah, you cut open the Weirlight plant, and inside it's fairly similar to a lot of flora of its kind of similar genus. There is something a little strange about it. And this flower has been pulled away, and its roots are still attached and going, but it does seem where you've placed it has already sort of tried to kind of shuffled around a bit after you've pulled it back out around the dirt, like it's already kind of moved into the dirt.
Mhm.
And I'll say with 2 degrees of success, you feel like there's a thought in the back of your head about the rituals, like the theme of the rituals you read about, and this flower.
It's like we're actually in the room. All of us went silent
Mm-hmm.
and then
And we're
started
all
flipping
waiting.
through pages. Yeah.
Y'all,
Wait a minute.
y'all, they're the one and only horror movie that has ever traumatized me. It was a horror movie called The Ruins, and it was about parasitic plants and vines and shit. And it's just I just can't handle it. And that is exactly what this fucking.
Oh, yeah, I'm not there, so I'm imagining it's a lot
I
more
bet you-
lighthearted. I was like, oh, it's that experiment that when Jack is experimenting in Nightmare Before Christmas with about the Christmas land. I feel like it's
No.
that.
No, I bet you this flower drinks blood.
Oh,
Feed me,
This
Seymour.
flower
Feed me
eats
now.
babies or something. This
What
flower- this
I will
flower
do
eats
next is
too.
this.
Yeah, it's
As this
real
is
bad
going on in the
flower.
back of my head,
Yeah.
is I'm going to take some of the petals and I'm going to mortar and pestle them, just turn them into a powder.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Experiment with them.
What do you do with them?
I'm going to light a little spoonful of it on fire to see what it does compared to
On fire?
what other herbs and other
Yeah.
flowers and things do. And
Oh, on fire, you
Absolutely.
say?
It smokes. It smokes really bad. In fact, you don't even see a flame, just smoke mostly. And it smells acrid. Like it's just like it's a very odd smell. It's almost chemically.
This flower brings the dead back to life.
And now,
This is.
You also it only grows in one place. And-
What's the temperature outside?
You set on fire. It smokes really bad. What
Smells
else
bad.
do you do?
I'm gonna mix it with some different solvents,
Okay.
like pure alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
oils, and just to see what
Yeah.
I observe.
The petals seem to bleed in alcohol.
Quite bad.
More of Naimora's reaction than
The coloration of the red seems into
be
the
dark.
alcohol.
Oh, like a dye. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like a dye. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not literally bleeding. I meant like a dye, like a t-shirt bleeds, like that.
Not all Ten Commandments style. Was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's turning into
No.
Guys-
No. Like the
Guys-
color, like the color of the alcohol changes to match the color of the petals.
Plants fuck me up, guys. They're so weird.
Can I pick up the wooden finger?
You absolutely can.
Nasty. I can't believe I just said those words. And also one of the Weirlights.
Yeah.
I want to see. I don't know. I don't expect there to be some sort of reaction, but
Sure.
Clary's like slowly tripping down this like weird
Rabbit
realm
hole?
of divination and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So she's gonna hold him and just think on it and stare at it, and just crazy stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you think and you hold them together. Nothing really happens.
Sure.
Do you touch them together?
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, you just get it in there.
Oh no.
Ew.
Yeah, you touch the finger to the flower of the Weirlight. Nothing really happens.
All right, I'm just gonna sit there and like
Sure.
press into the flowers and try and see if there's anything that
Yeah.
changes. But I
Now-
can't really help else in any other way.
Do I see the exact same thing that's Clarissa is, or sorry, Clarissa is seeing with it all?
Yes.
Okay.
I know these are questions you have to ask now.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely, you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other kind of fun experiments you want to do?
Now, the first sample we got and the second sample we got are from different areas.
They are.
I'll do the exact same thing as I did on the first one to the second sample, just to dissect
All
it.
right. Absolutely. When you burn the second one, it doesn't release as much smoke. In fact, it's a lot less, and there is a sort of like you do see some small, very tiny flames, kind of about it. And the base of the like blue sort of shifts in color a little bit.
And this is the one that we found in the courtyard, right?
Versus the one that I found out in the field.
Yes.
That we pulled out in the field.
Yes.
Both gave hallucinations. One was me getting covered in blood. The other was the stem being too long to pick.
Yes.
Okay.
The second one I did was the stem one.
No, the first one you did
Other way.
was other way around.
Oh,
So
you're right,
the one
you're
with
right.
produced a lot of smoke was the one where find the end of it. The second one was the one that gushed blood, according to Clarissa.
Maybe we put some blood on it.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Oh,
I'm trying to get a phone call coming through that my messenger just isn't working. So I'll have to take a phone call shortly. I'd like to mix powders from both of them into alcohol, as well as burning them and doing all of that as well.
try and combine them.
Equal parts.
Sure. Yeah, it just sort of gets like a sort of muddled effect. They're all kind of similar, but like it's kind of what you expected. The reaction that you found. Anything else?
Yeah, I
Nothing-
do want to try it. Clary's gonna poke her finger
Sure.
and add some to the flower.
Yeah. The flower you said?
Yes. To the
Okay,
Weirlight.
you have smeared your blood upon the.
Then can I burn it?
Then can you burn it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Yeah, then nothing else. Although it might be different with Weirlight blood. Sorry. Wow. Bad. It might be different with Thorsten's blood than it is with mine, because you
Sure.
were of the line. So
Do you want to try that?
I think she'd mention it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it a try as well.
Yeah, I mean, Thorsten, that idea is a little ridiculous, but you're dealing with some ridiculous things at this point.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So you
Yeah.
you put your blood on the a Weirlight.
Mhm.
Yeah. It looks like pollen begins to come off of it. These small, tiny little red kind of whiffs begin to just sort of move through the air up.
That's awful. That's awful.
Agreed.
There are a couple more places that I think we need to look, and then we need the book.
Yes. I want to look with this new thing that Thorsten's never seen before.
Yeah. Yeah, so according to everyone who's ever studied these, they don't have seeds. Like, the way they grow is sort of unknown, and they only spread them when they die. But this, you're seeing it. You've seen other flowers that do dandelion. Those are its seeds. You
Mhm.
expect.
I'd like to actually try and capture some of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's super
Uh,
easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get like a little glass jar, and you're like, here we go. You know, like,
I'm going to do it to the second flower as well. My blood. And
yeah.
Same thing?
Same thing. Begins to produce.
I'm going to put that into a separate jar just as because they were two different specimens from two different areas.
Yep, absolutely.
And I am now going to look for any and all books from as far back as I can.
I will need you to make a research roll. However, before we do, whoa.
I stopped.
Hey, whoa. Clarissa, would you like to help him?
I would.
Maybe you should approach it differently next time.
Maybe lead
Yes.
with Clarissa. Would you like to help?
Yes, that might help me out.
So, Clarissa, why don't you make me a knowledge research?
I
Oh,
have a
oh.
question about how this might work. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have decent knowledge, but if I wanted to use a destiny point to get one bonus die for this, could I?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to do that then. Please.
Be my guest.
Thank you. All right. 15. It's pretty good.
Very nice.
For a
very
normal
nice.
person, yes, that is excellent. And then
So,
we turn to the
Thorsten, you will have a +4 on your roll.
Um,
On top of your already +4. Yes, I know.
Delicious.
I'd like to spend a destiny point and do the same thing.
Yay!
So it would make my roll from a 4 bonus to a 5 bonus, correct?
Just-
Y'all are gonna
Disgusting.
die in the
Everyone-
There
next
are
session.
whores weeping in Babylon right now. Anyway, yes. Go ahead. You are free to.
Y'all are gonna catch
Plus
fire
8.
and die in the next session.
37.
37.
He's gonna knock you out. He doesn't want you in this
Yeah.
game anymore.
Yeah, no.
Find a book. The sun is coming up, but you find something that actually directly references it. It is not a history text. It is not a personal journal. It is not anything of that kind. It is a book that was in Garrett's nursery. It is a children's story, a poem, essentially, from it.
I'd
And-
like
It directly references of a man with a red hand touching a red flower and its seeds flying into the air.
Children's.
It is a book of 100 poems and tales, written by let's see here. Reese Redgaze.
Redgaze.
The next one.
Spelled, of course, fantasy style.
Yes. So you said this was it's just a book of 100 children's tales
Yeah.
from
Most
anywhere
of them
specific?
rhyme.
Oh, good.
I think you.
Pleasurable.
Yep, it's nice. There's like little illustrations in there too.
I'd like to study said book.
There is, in fact, an illustration of a man with his back turned. He has like a red, like crisscrossed vest. It's also like red and has some, like some darker and brighter, like yellow and other colors kind of mixed in. He's kind of got like this dark hair that's kind of wavy looking, that's blown by wind in the illustration. He's surrounded by a field of red flowers, and there's just like this beautiful trail going off into a sunset of what looks like red sparks, but you could easily identify as Weirlight seeds, essentially. And there's like a sun setting in the right corner, and his back is to like the picture, essentially.
Does it depict what time of year it is with it?
Well,
Summer, fall, spring?
it looks like you would guess with that roll, late spring, which is the time of year it is.
I'd like to scour the book for
Absolutely.
references and things.
In a moment, as we cut to,
I will be back in about
Go for
10
it.
minutes. I gotta take a phone call.
okay. Yeah, leave the video open. Yeah, okay. So, Mariella, Vivian,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it has been a bit of time since the event. Guards have been posted everywhere, many patrolling. Most of the women have been placed into a parlor room that is well guarded. Currently, Felice is leading a prayer to the seven. Vivian, you know Felice is very devout.
Sure.
So a lot of the women are finding a lot of comfort in this. Let's see here. Our lady Hart, Ella, she has sort of just sat in this chair, kind of like wide-eyed for like a little while. She hasn't spoken in a while. Sylvie is sat literally on the floor. She's sitting on the floor holding her mother's hand and just sort of like, just, you know, kind of like patting the top of it and just staring at her. And they've been like that for a while. Nobody's really gone near them. A couple of the ladies did faint, and they are sort of in kind of being looked after. There are a few men here, and they have like are sticking with their their women, saying, well, Harold has sort of, because he did not go on the hunt, because fuck that noise.
I make too much money to hunt boars.
I have better things to do, like look at my goats.
I just got my lady and my child back. I'm spending time with them.
Yeah.
I
So
pay
he's-
people to hunt.
Yeah. So he's actually been with the other it's just been like talking to a lot of them about what's been going on. Vivian, you have very much helped sort of get the guard organized. You are the lady's sister. It's not like the guards have just started listening to you, but you have your readiness and willing to immediately begin talking to them seems to have spurred them into what they know they should do. Mariella, you and Vivian, you are both in this parlor currently. The sun was lower in the sky when the body was found. It is reaching nightfall. However, nightfall is still probably another hour, 2 hours off.
That's a lot of time then.
Yeah, so it's essentially, I will tell you, since shit has gone down.
Yeah.
As a lot of the guards didn't let anyone go anywhere.
Okay.
They kind of herded everyone to a location. However, things have seemed to have calmed down a bit.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I do just have a clarification question.
Sure.
I would probably have one of the best senses of time between like body found and her going up those stairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you make me a cunning test, and the better you get, the more accurate you're gonna get an answer regardless.
Awesome. Okay. Cunning.
It's not that difficult.
11.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's 2 degrees of success. You would say, minutes technically don't exist.
But
It
like
was
roughly like half an hour or whatever. It's like the general
It
concept
was
of an
about.
hour
It was
is
about.
universal.
You would say almost exactly 35 to 40 minutes
Okay.
between when she went up the stairs and to when the body was found.
My sister is she here with her? Okay. Mary, I'd like to pull Mariella aside. Is Maester Hammond in here? Rest dust. Would we know at all where he is, or did he go off to do Maester?
He was last time you saw him. He was attending to the body
Understood.
of Eileen.
Right. Okay. So, I'll pull Mariella aside. See if you can find any conversation with the ladies about any individuals that might have been wandering around the castle attended. See if you can speak with Sylvie. I need to see if I can get my sister.
Well, would you want me to talk with Garrick? Maybe see if he saw any of the people leave the forest area since he and the children were there?
If you think it can help, but Garrick and
It's
the
like
children have
they're
said
generally
they
in no
just found
mind
the
for
body.
it, but
I understand, but they said that they just found them. You think you can get something from them, you can. But I think that as many ladies and the other gentlemen who remained here were here, I think that perhaps seeing what they are willing to speak of during this time. I'm going to see if I can get my sister.
I'll just nod.
Okay.
But in general, I'll probably go and like find where Tisea and Garrick are kind of holed up because I'm assuming they're tight together right now.
As Vivian and Mariella kind of to go do their things, let's stick with Mariella. So you go to talk to Garrick and Tisea.
Yeah, it's like I probably want to
Tisea
like, try.
and Helen are currently sleeping.
Okay.
Garrick is sort of just sat down, kind of looking at everyone.
Kind of approach and kind of, sort of like get down, kind of next to him to sit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like holding the fort.
Like nods, go. I mean, best I can.
Just kind of like take his hand, just to kind of like hold it. know it's a little rough, but Mother needs to have as much information as possible. She's gone to hopefully speak to our aunt.
Mhm.
Can you walk me through from you setting out to hunt squirrels to later when you came to find us?
I mean, we were just, like I said, we were just hunting squirrels, and then we started playing Blind Man's Bluff, and then we played, we did Hunt the Dragon, and that's when we found that girl.
Yeah, I just kind of like squeeze his hand. It's like
Yeah.
when you were playing Blind Man's Bluff and everything like that, did you see anybody leave the hunting area?
The woods?
Yeah, but we're just
No.
trying to make sure that we
No,
have
there was
everybody.
just that one guy who was watching us.
Okay, so the kennel master.
Yeah, the guy smells like.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, just him.
Okay.
Didn't see anybody else.
All right. Well, this will be helpful to Mother.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk around and make sure things are going well.
I'm fine.
If you could just watch for Tisea.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. And I kind of like kiss his temple as I kind of get up.
He's just like,
and it's like, I know, just like kind of one of those like things.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So where do you go?
I'll kind of start. I kind of want to do a quasi lap of the room with Sylvie and Lady Hart being towards the end of the lap, if possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's, and I
mean,
I
you
feel
run into
like,
several people. There are a lot of people in here.
Yeah, and I feel like Mariella in this scenario knows like stiff upper lip. It's like,
sure,
that's great, but if she lets some sort of like small vulnerability of the fact it's like, I was maybe one of the last people to talk to her, like
yeah,
show through, it might be better for her. And I think it really hit her. It's like they were the same age and literally just talked.
yeah, it's rough.
So yeah, I think she'll start doing kind of like a circuit of the room and kind of using the fact that she's relative of the host family with trying to cover things while we're awaiting everybody to return back from the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you see Hilda Saltman, Matilda Bain, Kaylee Windfell.
You're saying these way too loud for me to write, and you know that I write all the NPC names.
Yep. Too fast. Yep.
Too fast. It's fine. I know I'm not going to remember all of them.
Orlana and Arnett Shreve.
Those I remember.
Yeah.
Shreves.
Orlana has a lot of people have kind of quieted her a bit because she's just so awful. Yeah. Oh, she's very. Arnett is looking very somber. Felice has most of the women in a prayer circle, and they're sort of reciting several things, several hymns, probably mainly pertaining to the mother. And Felice is also almost giving a sermon. This lady knows her 7-star. She knows that book real well. And they all seem very grateful towards it.
Okay.
They haven't started singing or anything. But they have they're just reciting a few hymns and prayers and a lot of silent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So who would you like to talk to?
I wouldn't want to interrupt Felice if she's basically keeping like a whole squadron of them calm.
It does seem like she's doing that, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably want to just like make eye contact with her and just kind of like nod as I make the rounds.
She kind of gives you a nod, like, you know.
Yeah. You know what? If Aranet is not like super like chained to her mother,
she's a bit away. She's like in her chair.
I'd kind of like to possibly talk to her.
Absolutely. Yeah, you go up to her. She's kind of got a long face. You know, societally, she's not attractive by any standards. She's wearing a fine dress. Her hair is done in a very nice kind of like Lady Macbeth bun.
Chignon. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and she's just sort of like her very gangly legs are like not. Her knees are knocked kind of together, legs spread out. Her hands just kind of like twiddling. She looks like she's sad and like maybe thinking about stuff. And you know, Aranet's like either your age or like just a little.
Yeah. I think I'd kind of approach slowly and like maybe bend down a little, like not actually like touching floor or anything, but kind of like maybe like a hand on hers, like kind of gently, and it's like, "Are you all right?"
She kind of like starts a little bit. She goes, "Oh, yeah, well, no." Well, like, "No, I'm not." And she kind of has a rather large overbite. And she's like, Eileen was nice. You know, we talked. We talked at a few parties, and you know, she kind of shrugs. Like, she was nice.
I unfortunately only got to speak to her once, but I would have to agree.
She nods. She's, you know, I kind of always thought of her as my friend. I don't really have any of those.
From what I understand, she took most relationships that she had and treasured them. She was speaking very, very passionately about how unions such as weddings are important and wonderful things, and I would assume she would take other relationships just as well.
Well, Eileen was always a romantic. You know, we would talk about how we'd wish, you know, boys would write us poems and, you know, just silly girl things like that.
I fully understand that. Currently,
she kind of looks at you.
Currently, my sister believes she is the Lady of the Flowers and would probably be very happy for poems and such, and kind of give like a gentle squeeze of the hand.
Yeah, she smiles. It's just, you know. I was just so happy for her, you know, because, you know, her and, oh, that was your brother, wasn't it?
Yes.
Henrik?
Indeed.
Well, they had seemed to have gotten along well, and, you know, at these functions, girls like Eileen and I, we just don't get attention. So the fact that she did, I was so happy for her. You know, it felt like if she could do it, maybe I could do it. But dumb. It's such a stupid thought because she's
Not at all.
dead. Like, how? She just like puts her hands in her, head in her hands, and just kind of like, as her face goes, I've seen people die before. Complications of birth and things like that, but not that. Just kind of.
There's always a difference between an unfortunate complication of nature and something that should not have happened.
She nods. You're Mariella.
Indeed.
I think we talked for very few moments ball at Ashford.
Very briefly, yes. It's very nice to see a face that I actually know.
She nods. He was like, me too. Goes, what do you think happened?
Honestly, what currently comes to mind, which is probably something the protector that normally oversees my brother and I, or my father, would say, is someone is not happy with the concept of this marriage, but
Do you think
they're both very, very entrenched with warfare and like to do that, but I would like to hope. Because she's good.
She just like shakes her head and puts her hand in her mouth.
What? Were you able to speak to her at all earlier today?
She nods.
About good things?
Well, a bit about your brother.
He does tend to have a way with having ladies talk.
Yeah. But, mostly also about her sister and upcoming wedding. Just stuff like that.
Was it for preparations for the day, or?
No. She was a little mad at her sister.
She had... I kind of like looked down. She had mentioned something about a few people taking things for granted last we had spoke.
Yeah, I think she feels Sylvie doesn't appreciate her position, like how lucky she is to marry him, a man like Sir Kevin. I think I don't know why, but she said she just, should be more appreciative. Makes sense.
Was there possibly somebody else she had fancied at another time, Sylvie? Or...
Sylvie? Well, I mean, everyone likes Sylvie.
But that doesn't say who Sylvie likes.
She nods. He goes, I don't know of anyone fancied. I mean, she's had a lot of suitors. A lot. She's been nice to all of them, but she's never really, given any of them the time of day, honestly. And with Sylvie around, no one ever saw it.
Well, we saw her.
We did. I mean, girls like me and Eileen, we have to look out for one another. I mean, no offense, Mariella, you're very nice, and I like you, but you're beautiful.
I would like to be considered more for my caliber than my face.
I wish that was like that.
Well, I'm sure you saw at Ashford sometimes Beauty has its restrictions.
She kind of shrugs as if she might not.
Let us just say there was many unwanted attentions that had to be fielded. And like like let a little bit of the frustration show.
Yeah,
of like,
sure. And she goes, well, yeah. Yeah, that seems to be kind of the extent of what Aranette knows.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that I probably would have wanted to do was figure out like when maybe she had talked to her. But
yeah, she had talked to her just after breakfast.
okay. So
and they had gone
so
on
a good couple hours before I had.
Yeah,
okay.
they'd gone on a walk.
Okay.
Essentially, just chatted.
Yeah. So I'll kind of do like a light hand squeeze and kind of like leave her to her own thoughts.
Sure. Absolutely.
With excusing myself and kind of going. I'd probably want to see if I could listen in on that whole group of ladies.
Yeah.
If they're chatting like from like the whole
they
rambling.
Are talking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Slow approach. I would like to hear as much as I can before like possibly
let's
inserting
get
myself.
an awareness test. It's not gonna be hard. They are talking quietly out of respect, but and just like who talks loudly after you watch a teenage girl die? Like not a lot of people. At least not a lot of people who really care about what people think of them.
People who are sensitive, maybe.
Hello.
Lady
I mean, yeah, she's.
She is dramatic breathing in a corner. Okay, so awareness, a 14.
Oh God, yeah, you destroy it. Yeah.
Get all that info.
Yeah, you definitely hear like what are their names? There they are. Yeah, you hear like Kaylee Winfell talking about just how awful this whole situation is and what's going to happen. Hilda Saltman says like, well, I mean, girls died. I mean, they're gonna cancel the wedding, I assume, or at least push it back. Matilda Bain, however, comes in as, don't be daft, or naive. This wedding is a lot more important than, I mean, I hate to say it, is more important than that girl's life according to the families. I, personally, I loved Eileen. I thought she was just a treat. But, but they're not going, the men will not cancel the wedding. Oh no. The death of some girl can't possibly deter them. I am terrified, though, to see what happens when Lord Hart returns.
Would I be able to do like a general breeding to see like what else? Like if I was able to catch like whose side of the family they were all sitting on and things like that, and like just a general more awareness of who these ladies are.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It'll just be one status breeding test.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to make this a difficulty of 9.
Of number.
TR of 9. Well,
I fucking pay attention to shit.
4 degrees of success. So that's 4 degrees of success. Yeah, you know who all of these girls are. So this is Kylie Winfell, Hilda Saltman, and Matilda Bain. These 3 are kind of seen everywhere. They are from Crownlands families. None of their houses are sworn either House Hart or House Manning. They are just socialites.
Gossips.
Okay.
They are socialites. They are if something is going on in the crowd, these 3 girls go. They do have husbands, which is of course Corin Bain, who is Matilda's husband, Tartier Windfell, which is Kaylee's, and Ira Saltman, which is Hilda's.
What was Windfell?
Tartier. It's a very strange name.
Okay, I wasn't off with what.
Yeah, the Windfells. The Windfells are a sailing family that rose to prominence during the Ninepenny. So they seem to have some kind of like Associan blood in them, possibly. Okay. So thus they all kind of have some strange names.
Yeah. Okay, so none of these are directly related to Manning or Hart. It's just they are notable Crownsland personages, and so they would be invited upon general courtesy, and this
isn't like a huge wedding, like I mean, of importance, yes, but of the actual attendance for a noble wedding, it's fairly tame in its size. It's like some personal like people from the Crown Lands, direct family, and maybe like an honored friend or two, and that's kind of it. Where a wedding that you would, I mean, Marilla, you would know, upon your wedding, Vivian hopes most of the Seven Kingdoms will show up.
High aspirations indeed. Yeah, is there anything else that I generally pick up from awareness? I'm assuming not.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like Kaylee seems sad. Hilda seems like distraught at what is going to happen. She seems like a little worried about that. Matilda seems who must have seen some shit in her line because she seems
very pragmatic,
not unfazed, but like she definitely, obviously, it did affect her. Like, you saw her face when she saw the body; she freaked out.
Yeah,
but it was more like, yes, a girl has died.
But this is political. The king has ordered it.
Yeah, exactly. She seems a lot more like pragmatic, she seems to understand how the world of nobles and like men work. Maybe a little sick of it. You would know her husband Corin is like who
How do you say le douchebag?
Yeah. Corin Bane is like he's just the most like I see you have womanly feelings. Well, I'm going to leave now.
How do you say le chauviniste?
Yeah, a bit. Like he doesn't have time for soft womanly things. He is a man.
He's a manly man.
Yeah, he's very much like manly men. Men should fight. Men should ride. Men should kill. Just things of that nature. He's heavily involved in the court politics at the Red Keep, which is probably why Matilda's there. And she just, through Corin and what happens at the Red Keep, she's just like, listen, little girls die all the fucking time.
You would be
politics
surprised.
Rolls on. Yeah, she's just very like
I saw wiped under the rug.
Essentially, and it's like everyone kind of knows, but nobody super talks about it. But like Corin for sure beats her, like for sure. Like there's no way he doesn't. He never does it in public, but there are enough illusions where illusions that like everyone knows. Ira Saltman, Hilda's husband, is about 30 years her senior, and already has like 2 children from last marriage.
Okay, so second wife.
Yeah, second wife. Tartier Windfell is almost never in country. He's away on business continuously. He does business with the Free Cities a lot.
Okay.
So he's almost never around. So she has a lot of access to his money and just sort of like
does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
All right.
The ideal relationship.
Essentially, unless something dramatic happens, every single event and gathering in this game, you will see these 3 women at.
Lovely. Oh man. Trying to. Okay, so we had these 3. We had the Shreves. We have Felice doing a prayer circle. We have Sylvie and Ella kind of off in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, also because your amazing role, you know, Matilda has given Corin a son.
Okay.
A very healthy young boy. His name is Bruce.
How's it spelled, Tony?
How is Bruce spelled?
No, wait. I know.
No, it is not. No, unfortunately, Bruce is spelled quite pedestrian.
It's just a normal ass name.
Yeah.
Poor child has such a normal name.
No, he's never going to be
Darren,
successful this way.
Poor children.
Yep. Bruce Vane.
Oh, that's terrible. I just realized that's terrible.
Does he have an uncle named
For this world,
Bruce
that
Banner?
might just be like, very
Okay.
like out there in spelling names. I mean,
a little bit.
So generally with my disgusting status roll, would I know if I engage with these women, I will be caught here for a while?
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
And if not, it's because they might say something shitty or catty. You've never had a problem with them. They're a bit old, they're like older than you, but they're still not one of them is 20, right?
Yeah.
They're all very pretty. They're all young wives. They've been wives, though. They've all been wives since they were like 13. And yeah, basically none of them have ideal marriages.
Yeah.
However, unfortunately, as Westeros marriages goes, basically there are 3 common factors of that they basically represent them. Either your husband is infinitely older than you, beats you, or you've never seen them.
They're never there.
And then there is this unique small percentage, which is your mother's marriage.
I might circle back to them in some ways.
Absolutely.
I would want to probably head over towards if Felice is like full on sermoning, I think I'd probably want to kind of like go by her, like kind of like touch her arm, like eye contact, and kind of like keep going over towards the hearts.
Sure, yeah.
But like if she's not sermoning, it's like I'd probably
she's
like
kind of sermoning.
Yeah. Because I don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah, she has like 12 people with her, so she's just like kind of keeping them together.
Okay.
Technically, those 3 are in that group, but they're at like the back of the group, kind of just talking to each other.
Yeah, they're the kids at the back of the class who really don't care.
Yeah, basically. None of them, none of them are particularly devout.
Yeah. The menfolk are in the room with us, like Harold.
There are guards and stuff. Harold's not here.
Okay.
There are a few other men who.
Okay. That's fine.
Like Ira Saltman's in here. He's asleep. On a chair.
Okay.
He's also so is Sir Barris Shreve. He is asleep next to that man. They are snoring.
As one would guess, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd kind of head over towards the hearts.
Yeah, absolutely. Sylvie kind of sees you coming and kind of looks up and kind of pats her mother's and kind of stands up a bit and kind of.
I kind of like gesture. It's like no, and kind of like generally like lower so that I can be like eye level to her mother, who's like probably sitting on a chair or something.
Sylvie actually interposes herself. It goes, please, I know you wish to give well wishes, but she is not in a state right now.
I was actually checking to see if you needed anything.
I think we're all right. Thank you. I don't think we've talked.
I don't believe we have either.
She smiles. She goes, "I'm." Oh, sorry.
It's all right. I'm Mariella Weirlight.
Yes, of course. If well, we are to be future in-laws, are we not? To some
Future
degree?
cousins, yes.
Yes. And she nods. Call me Sylvie.
Most family calls me Mari.
Mari, then. And she kind of like gestures for like the love seat kind of next to her mother.
Yeah.
And she kind of like sits down. You do notice something. She sits down a lot like it's just sort of like control to it, where it's just like flip. But the audience would very much see this like perhaps parallel.
Okay, yeah. In tandem.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Okay. How are you holding up?
I don't know. I don't think it's real at the moment. I think that's how I'm processing it. I just spoken to her.
Indeed.
I had just spoken to her. Not moments beforehand. Not even, it couldn't have been.
I think she was with me when she had received word to go see you, possibly.
Yes. She said she needed to get back to a conversation she was having. Yes. We talked. I needed her help. My handmaidens were just. They were flustering me, and they were just.
I just kind of grin and nod, and it's like.
They just had so many opinions.
Sometimes there's such a thing as too many.
She nods. Like, you definitely get it, right? And she's just like, and I would rather, no problem. I wanted Eileen there because Eileen has never had any problem being direct with me, and I wanted her opinion on something, and
I won't pry into what it is because obviously it.
No, she goes. It's awful. We fought. We had an argument. We said things to each other, and that's the last interaction I had with my baby sister. Was I yelled at her, and then I left, and then she was dead. What? And she's just like, and goes off to the side and like puts her hand thing and just like you've seen it before of like she is forcing herself not to cry. It is a whole body action.
I think I kind of take her hand and kind of adjust myself so then I'm slightly blocking the room for her.
Sure. Yeah. And she kind of like pats your hand and like sits up. And... I'm sorry. I'm not very. I don't know. I feel like if I did tell anyone, it would be dishonest, or it would mean I contributed. I don't know. I just needed to tell somebody. I just feel like a monster. I've never treated her as well as she should. You know, I love opinion. I love talking to her, but I don't think I ever said that. And she just like adjusts like away from you and just
yeah,
like
And like I'll return to like kind of where I was positioned on the couch before. But
Yeah.
now that she's kind of like regained herself.
Yeah. She goes, I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's just awful. I'm just worried that she.
So you had an argument in your room, and forgive me, I don't know where everyone's room is situated. It's my first time here, actually.
Oh, I'm in the I think the upper floor of the keep.
Okay. And so that would work with where the tower is in my brain?
No.
Okay.
Like you would have to go to the upper get to the tower, but no, she would be. She kind of tells you generally, but it's like it's actually like you'd have to pass that tower to get to where she was.
Okay. Well, I would totally want to do like if I had empathy, I would totally roll empathy.
Sure.
But, like I want awareness. It's like I trust her, but it's like I kind of also want to see like as much as I can into this.
Absolutely. Go for
it. Awareness. Nope. She's just a distraught sister.
From what you can tell, she very distraught, trying to appear like she's strong, but there is a lot of pain.
Yeah.
In her eyes. And you know this pressure to be this.
Yes. To be
perfect,
the paragon. Yes.
To be the paragon child, to be this perfect thing that represents your family in every.
Yep.
Even when at the death of your own sister, she is still trying to be that person.
Yep.
And it's just you're just seeing a lot of similarity.
I am currently in the quandary of saying certain things. No, I don't think I want to. I'd prefer to speak with my mother before doing that. I think if she hasn't kind of done like a slight shake off of like the hand that I had given her, I would probably squeeze it, return it to my lap, and it's like I wouldn't presume that you would necessarily want to seek my counselor company, but if you do need an ear or just a quieter corner, and like kind of like looking at the room, you can at least possibly meet your other to-be cousins if you'd wish, or some form of distraction.
I would love to, but not now.
Obviously
not. I want to, but I just not. I would just like some time, I think.
Understandable.
You're very good, Mariella. And I think we could be very good friends.
I hope so. I'm getting a new cousin.
Yeah. And
no, not under great circumstances, but
yeah, she's just kind of like and just nods. Thank you, and she kind of like pats her hand. She's not removing her hand by but you do kind of see like Sylvie's
and it's like I'll leave you to your thoughts, but
she nods.
It's not like I'll go far, and like kind of like looking at the parlor. It's not like they'll let us.
Yeah, she nods.
Kind of pat the hand, kind of get up. I'll probably kind of. I'd probably want to try to station myself to be relatively near the doors. If Garrick's got an eye on Tisea, like I would love to like just kind of keep at least him. I'd be able to generally see out of like a corner of my eye, but I'd like to be somewhere near the door.
Great. So as you actually get near the doors, there are calls and sounds. Open the gate! And then you hear lots of activity, and you hear some men yelling and screaming. And you're kind of looking into the courtyard from the door of the parlor, and running in are several horses. On the back, you see several men, and there's another kind of laid out on a horse, and everyone's begun to like move him carefully, get a stretcher, and someone screams, "Get Maester Hamden!" And you see Arthur Manning with a streak of blood cut through the side of his head, rushing down, his not moving.
Oh no, that's not good. Not good.
But at that point, we were cutting away.
Yeah. I was going to try to do something, but that's totally fine. Cut.
Vivian!
Yes?
All right. So this is essentially back in time. This is the moment you left, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are going to try and go to your sister Mardella's room, yes?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you ask some guards, like, where is my... and they show you to her chambers. It's kind of like a higher raised parapet near a tower, and you kind of go up it. It's, it'd be the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 guards outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear talking from behind the door. You hear 2 people talking.
Mm-hmm.
And as you like approach, the guards kind of straighten.
I've come to see my sister.
The 2 men look at each other like they go, one moment, my lady. And the door opens slightly and kind of knocks a bit on the door. And you hear Maester Hamden go, what? And he goes, Lady Vivian is here. And then suddenly you hear your sister. Voice, you hear, Vivian?
What?
Do you just go to open the door?
I'm gonna open the door.
Yeah. The guards don't stop you. And the maester kind of gets back, goes, and you see a fairly dark room. And you definitely hear your sister's voice in the bed. However, she kind of moves her head from canopy where the candlelight can hit her, and you do see Sister Mardella. She is not injured or disfigured looking at it or anything. And she smiles when she sees you. She goes, Vivienne.
Mardella. And I just want to go over to her bedside.
Yeah. She gets up out of the bed, and hugs you.
Oh, I want to hug her back.
Yeah, you hug her back. And she goes, "What? I didn't know you were here. Where?
Sister, it's your son's wedding. Why wouldn't I?
My son?
Kevin.
Kevin? Why would Kevin be getting married?
Well, that's Serena. Sorry. Back to Vivienne. It's a agreement with the Mannings.
She's a Manning.
Sorry, man. It's an agreement with the Harts.
Her face changes. He goes, "Don't be ridiculous. Kevin is a boy. He can't get married." No,
And
I mean, if anyone's going to get married next, it would be Kai. Beautiful, lovely Kai.
Ooh.
Oh.
And Amelia Major
Yeah,
Hamden is walking up. He's quite lovely, and he like stares at you like, "You just fucking. Do you not understand what you just walked in on?" like, yes.
I don't understand. Tell me, Maester.
Yeah, he goes, yes, beautiful Kai. Why don't you sit back down, my lady? Just for a moment. I think I need to tell your sister about a few things. He goes, yes, of course. I was like, well, I mean, we'll get tea and cakes, the whole, like, everything like we used to. And you must see Kai. He's gotten so big. And, like, the maester is, like, pushing into a corner of the room and is just like, so we were going to wait until the feast started to have the family members come in one by one and talk to her and explain what was going on. Your sister is not well.
Why did she think? Why is she mentioning
Shock, I believe. The hearing of her son's death did something to her. She was okay for a while, but her memory comes and goes. And a lot of the time she's in this state where Kai is alive, Kevin is young, much younger, and everything is right. I think it might have been the time when she's happiest. But she is not well. There are lucid moment when she knows where she is, and in those moments, she is inconsolable.
How long has this been going on?
A few years. I've treated her the best I can. I would do anything for your sister, my lady Vivian. But there are no extensive knowledge of cures for this sort of thing. I've tried to make her face the truth. I've tried to go along with her fantasy. I've tried things. And for 6 months, she was fine. She went back to normal. Everything seemed well.
And then?
She just smelled new wood that had been brought in, sandalwood. And it triggered some memory. And she was back in it.
When was this?
2 years ago. She eats sometimes, and she wanders. She gets up. The guards honestly are there to make sure she doesn't run off somewhere. She exercises. She's physically rather healthy, but she's just not. She's not well.
Does she know anything that's going on?
We've told her many times. She's very against the idea.
Right.
She hates the hearts.
Speak with my sister alone.
Like, she makes her hand.
Please.
If you want to try and get him to do that, I'm going to need a bit of a tete-a-tete.
Okay.
How would you like to do it? Now, you can of course use charm to beseech him, convince, or you can just tell this motherfucker to leave because you are a powerful noblewoman and the sister of this woman. So one are persuasion tests, the others are status tests, right?
I would like to try and use persuasion. Like my sister is unwell, and I just.
So this is my first. Is this convince or charm? Sounds like convince to me.
Convince for sure, probably.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that.
Okay, here we go. Oh my god. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, on the first round, the maester kind of looks at you, and while that does affect him somewhat, he's just like, "My lady, I know you wish to speak to the thing, but like, allow me to be in the room. She is not well." And you can tell he's like trying to say something, but is definitely not saying it.
Okay. Would that be an empathy roll to try and see what he's hinting at, or
totally
is like what else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It looks like you can tell he's not trying to hint at it, but he's like stopping himself from saying something.
Yeah, because I know we had developed a little bit rapport before when I had spoken with him, especially with the door closed, and I kind of corner and just be like, "You can tell me, she's my sister. This is my family. Okay. I want nothing but the best for her."
All right. Well, that would be another convince.
Okay.
That definitely sounds like you're trying to tell you.
Yes. Like double the last one.
So that's 3 degrees of success. And Maester Hand just goes like, "You must swear to me that you were on Our Lady's side. Swear."
Always.
"Your sister is dangerous. She's hurt people. Several of the maids, she attacked them over the course of the years. Anytime anyone tries to stop her or restrain her from seeing Kai, she attacks them. And he like...
Tony.
Yeah.
Is where my sister's room anywhere near the tower where Eileen's
down the hall.
Oh my god.
I'd like to go over to my sister, please.
Yep.
Adela.
She turns to you and goes, "Yes, hello, Vivi."
I need you to remember. What did you do?
When?
Can you remember? It would be earlier this evening.
This evening? Well, I was reading, and I recall hearing a noise, and it was coming from Kai's room. But Kai, and then she just starts like her head starts shaking, and the maester starts just coming over.
No, I want to like grab my sister's face and like make her look. It's Adela.
Her face, you see, just transform into this mask of pain and horror, and she just goes, "Kai's dead," and just like hug you, and she's gripping you very tight, and she's like pulling at your dress a bit and just trying to get you in, but you like a tear at your dress, and she's just starts screaming into your chest, like, and it goes on for a while, this scream.
Yeah. I'll hold her.
Yep.
Adela, listen to me. I know.
She kind of like looking at you.
I know this pain that you were feeling. I know it feels as if though your heart is torn from your chest and you cannot breathe. But I need you to remember, and I need you to tell me. Please.
I'm going to definitely need you to convince your sister right now. It is going to be very difficult.
Can I? Is the destiny points? Is it burning them forever, or is it
to do what?
To give me an additional bonus dice?
And that's just using it.
Convince.
It will not burn it forever.
Okay, yeah, it spawns in the next session.
Okay, I would for sure.
Would
like to use it to give myself a bonus die and convince, if I may.
Absolutely.
Okay, so do I just add a temporary +1 to the convince, or?
Yes, you do. $14. Yeah, she just kind of goes. She goes, "Hey, of course." She kind of just shakes her head like, "Vivian, when did you get here?" And you see her kind of just relapse and just start going over as if didn't just go there. She goes, "Have you seen the view? The view is lovely." Gets up and begins to go and like move her gesture outside of the window, and she goes, "You could just see the Kingswood just over there." And she's just talking, and you're not sure how much of it is just her whatever madness has beset her, or her not wanting to confront anything you're talking about. It's hard to tell. It's probably a mix of anything. However, this avenue is not closed. Okay. We're kind of treating this like a kind of an intrigue. She's sort of withdrawn.
Yeah.
And is sort of trying to just like not talk about whatever you're talking about.
Okay.
However, you of course may attempt again.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah. Convince isn't closed to you or anything. This is standard rules of an intrigue.
Could I let me I don't know if there's anything that'll help me besides my usual tactic.
Slap her.
Slap her, bitch. I am not very tough, you guys. Switch to combat. No. She could kill.
Try out my combat.
We joke, but she could kill me.
Who knows if that Maester would jump in?
Yeah. Everyone knows that Maesters are excellent at combat.
True.
Direct combat.
Okay. So she's withdrawn.
Pulls out a measuring spoon to measure the amounts of how much milk of the poppy goes into a tea. Just...
Now drink it.
Okay.
Could be the best way to die. Pain free.
Okay. Could I read? Could I read her? Try and gain some kind of.
You may try to read her. Yes.
Okay. Is it just awareness, or can I add my empathy?
It is just awareness.
Understood. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Oof, not great. Oh, here we go. 10.
She's hard to read. A part of you really wants her to just be upset and being difficult like she used to be, but another part of you is sinking in that something has gone terribly wrong with your sister.
Okay. Mardella, do you remember when we would have secret codes to tell and hide Scepter Myrtle?
You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I mean, my mic's falling. There we go. Shit. Sorry, cursing. Okay. that's fine. So I'll walk up to her. Mhm. Do you remember when we would tell each other secrets from Septa Myrtle?
Yeah, she turns her face. She goes, "Oh, of course, yes.
Mhm.
You remember the silliest things, Vivi. Yes,
I do.
that, yes.
I think that you have a secret to tell me. And you always know, if you give you a secret, I give.
All right, so what,
I'm trying to charm, please.
you're trying to charm her? Go for it. Go for
Mhm.
it. Let's see.
Yes.
And she goes, "Oh, well, I mean, you would understand, I suppose. I mean, I just..." And you kind of, Mingo goes, "It's..." Yeah. And then she gets back up and goes, I heard noise coming from Kai's room,
Mhm.
and I went to go check on him. But Kai wasn't in there. It was some girl. And she started talking to me, and she said that she just got in a fight and was mad, and she then told me her name, and she was... I mean, you have to know, like, she was a heart, and she... Kai's room, and then remember Kai... They killed him. They killed him. She killed him. And then she just screams and just slams her hands against like the bedpost, and you just see her hands just start like bruise immediately and bleeding, and the maester runs over and like grabs her hands and be like, "It's all right, it's all right, it's all right," and just like calming her down. And he kind of looks at you. He looks really mad, and he goes, and he's like, "Drink your tea. Drink your find him." And eventually she does do it, and he goes, "If you wanted to know, I could have just told you."
Well, how was I supposed to know that?
I don't know. You see Maester Hendon, he looks like he has not...
Yeah.
Like, he has hit it very well down. You see the desperation. You can tell this man loves your sister. Not in like a gross way, like in a very devoted servant way.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've tried to keep it from the rest of the family how dangerous she is. But if they knew, she would... I don't know what would happen to her. And your sister has always been very kind to me. And now that girl... Like, and he just like sits down. He looks so tired. Your sister threw that girl off the balcony. I came in at the tail end of it. I saw her go over. She wanted me to alert the guards that hearts are in the building. Lord Arthur hoped, with an end to the fighting, an end to the war, an exchange of apologies, Weirgild, and that love and a child blossom out of it, that it would cure her. Lord Hart wanted to agree to it because it was a more beneficial arrangement to have access to our port. But Arthur agreed to it for his wife. And I just hoped against hope that he was right. But I don't know if she's ever coming back. I can't tell Lady Hart that Lady Manning killed her daughter. I can. They would kill each other. Blood would be spilled tonight. You have to know that. I'm not trying to cover up a murder. I'm not saying I'm not culpable, but I just... and he just sits down and just covers his face.
A girl is dead.
He nods. If you tell Lady Hart what has happened, there will be a lot more dead girls. And it is at this point that a huge commotion is calling down. And there's people are yelling and screaming. And Maester kind of looks strange. And then suddenly the door opens and there's a guard. It goes, Maester Hamden, come quickly. Lord Manning's been injured in the hunt. And he just goes... And we will take a break right there.
His fill bucket reached 50. He only had 10 back.
So we'll take a break there. Take some time to decompress, get some drink.
Lord!
God.
My heart.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after this quick break.
Ooh.
Yay!